So my boss has a son who's in the Army, right? And he wanted to do this like shooting range type thing. And I guess he has ghost guns or knows something about ghost guns. And I didn't really know anything about ghost guns about it until he mentioned this. And then next thing I know, or his dad was like, yeah, he wants to do this thing with ghost, but he has ghost guns or, helps. Those are the type of guns that he uses or some junk like that. And, he said, but now the media is talking about banning them and so on, so and so. And guess what happened? You won't believe it. All of these shootings pop up on YouTube about ghost guns. Some guy had a ghost gun and he attacked some undercover detectives, but they didn't have any body cameras because they were undercover and you weren't able to see it. And then they link Black Lives Matter to the bullshit at the same time. I said, man, this man must watch the news. These sheeple cannot see as obvious as all of these underlying agendas are. They're not even before. They were a little bit slick with it, but now they're not even trying to be slick with it. They'll say that they're banning a certain gun, and then next thing you know, that certain gun is used in a mass shooting and kills all of these. Somebody comes in, and it just so happens to be one person, but he's got all of these guns that they're trying to ban, or that the news is saying are dangerous, and people are like, no, they're not dangerous. Even though there's no such thing as an assault weapon. It's quite funny how the news would tell you how there's a bunch of guns that are dangerous, and these are the guns that they haven't regulated yet. Then all of a sudden, a wave of shootings dealing with these guns pop up. And then you'll see the sheeple in the comment sections. The funniest thing about all of these things, literally, are the sheeple comments. Like I mentioned, Candace Owens earlier, just another puppet, just another person playing one side of the field, getting everybody, acting like she's Miss Next President to be. Look down when she says something on any news channel. Just look at the sheeple comments. Just look at the comments. And I'll show you how dumbed down the majority literally is by mainstream media and school, sadly. It's a crying shame. And you try to say something in these comment sections and you're a constitutionalist. That's a bad thing these days. I was watching some kind of cop watch video the other day, and some guys were recording to show people that they're allowed to record in a certain place, and even the cops were like, oh, he's a constitutionalist because he mentioned the Constitution of the United States of America, which this country is supposedly founded on. Which, I mean, it was, but if you ask somebody else, it was, we're founded on democracy if you ask the dumbass sheeple today. Once before, upon a time, a while ago when I was younger, minded and younger in age, I could understand falling for the media tricks, but as blatant as they're being with all of what they're doing, like, they're not hiding it anymore. You got to be some kind of stupid when one week they're talking about banning a certain gun, and then the next week that same gun is used in a mass shooting. And the people who claim to be smart in this world today don't see the connection. But they want to tell you, get an education, do this, do that, do the third. But they can't see the connection between something that simple. Something that obvious. This is the world that we live in today. They actually believe, well, maybe I should say that for another mic take, about this whole something mutates and everything, it makes sense now. What? Oh God, yeah, I gotta do a separate one for that. They'll say, oh no, it's not about your rights, it's not about your guns, they're not coming after your guns, and they're not so and so. People need to understand that there are crazy people in this world. Yes, there are, and the majority of them are you who recycle that bullshit. Right there. They're not trying to make the guns harder. Somebody, you know, I heard somebody say this the other day. Or it wasn't the other day. It was in a Bill Cooper, it was in the Land of the Lost documentary on my Bill Cooper channel. I'll link it in the video description, or the description box of this video. And some guy was like, they can ban all the guns they want. I can go right here on the corner and get any gun I want. They shouldn't be worried about somebody who is legally trying to go through the process to get a gun. They should, because those people aren't a target or a threat if they're willing to wait. What they should be worried about is people who are trying to get their hands on guns right now. And he said, I can do that because I can go right here on this corner right here and get 12 guns if I want to. But again, you'll hear the sheeple say they're not trying to do it to get the guns out of the law-abiding citizens. They're trying to do it to get the guns out of the hands of the criminals. Most criminals are not going to go, well, actually all criminals are not going to go get a gun registered to them and willing to wait to get it. They are going to go get those guns on the corner, on the street, find somebody who's willing to sell illegal guns, or they're going to break into a law-abiding citizen's house and steal their guns, possibly kill them, thus creating more crimes with guns. That doesn't make sense to them, though, y'all. Whatever their government god tells them to do, or tells them they're doing to keep them safe, these dumbasses are going to continue to believe it. And instead of saying something against what you're saying, if you're saying something like this that makes sense, all they're going to do is thumbs down your video, because that's how much knowledge they really have by this system who has trained them to believe all of this bullshit that I just said, and that they're going to keep on repeating in the comment sections. You even look at videos like, I like Active Self-Protection. I used to be sub to that channel and like a lot of his videos, but people like that, they always stick up for law enforcement, right or wrong. And it's wrong for him to talk about gun safety, but still stick up for a cop that will come in here and just shoot somebody, guns blazing, and not follow any type of police protocol. And then this guy still sticks up for them. I still go and look at some of the videos, but now it's like he's just putting on whatever video. But there's that one video of this guy that shot that couple, went right up to her, shot her in the head, and did all this stuff. But there was no, you know, you didn't see any you didn't see any brain splatter or anything like that. This lady is still talking before, during, and after being shot. There's no gore. There's no blood. He shot the man, shot her. You don't see any blood anywhere, even though it's in the snow. And he supposedly goes and kills himself or something like that. And then they got the little back of the story. Oh, it's years and years of being bullied and so and so and so. You don't kill somebody of years and years of being bullied. Move away. Man up. Tell them to shut up. It's an old lady and her husband. How much could they possibly bully you? I'm getting tired of that crap. Oh, it's bullying. Same thing they said about the, you know, the Columbine guys. The video games. Bullying. Funny how they don't say anything about mainstream media glorifying guns. I mean, not mainstream media. Hollywood glorifies guns, killing, Rambo-type movies, slitting people's throats. YouTube can make all these documentaries about killers and guns and shooting people and all this stuff. None of that gets banned, and nobody says, oh, this is the cause of blood, guts, and none of that. But video games are. But they're still selling video games, making more graphic than they are now. I mean, than they ever were before. I'm not saying ban video games. But if you're going to start banning something, why don't you start banning Hollywood? Why don't you start about when it comes to guns, guts, glory, and all this other stuff? Why don't you ban these sitcoms? Why don't you ban these YouTube documentaries where they're glorifying killers? Oh, because that doesn't make sense. Talking about video games and somebody being bullied makes more sense than how Hollywood glorifies what they glorify 24/7 in these sitcoms about killers and, you know, Breaking Bad or Dexter and people going there just killing everybody. None of that could be the cause of somebody going in. I mean, they use these videos and give people new ways that you would have never thought of to get away with stuff and kill people and use guns and all stuff They don't, but they don't ban none of that. All over Hulu, all over Netflix. I'm not saying that if you're wrong for watching Hulu and Netflix or whatever. I'm just saying think. People have to take responsibility for their own actions. And the government shouldn't be trying to regulate all the people who are following the rules. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be going after people who are selling illegal guns. Not people who are trying to go through the process of get guns legally, because those people most likely are getting those guns to protect themselves and not to go out and commit whatever. And then just like in the Columbine thing, they said they went and had somebody go buy it for them. But it don't matter. I think they stole a couple too. Just like Adam, if you know who I'm talking about, stole some himself. It doesn't have anything to do with people who are registered or people who want to get registered. You shouldn't make it harder for them. You should go out, crack down on the criminals who are selling these things illegal. Make it harder for those people. Oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense though. What am I talking about? I'm such an idiot. It's just no common sense, none of that being said here.